Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another podcast. You go further with a dollar than a dime. And you got to look at that as an analogy. And I was inspired to do this because I was watching a video the other day, right? And it was like one of those downtimes I actually get to check out other stuff on YouTube, especially outside this sector. I actually like doing that to see what else is there. And plus, it's more money there. But that's the business side of me. But I was watching this video, and it's in the description box about shy women approaching men, right? Check out the link. It was an interesting thing. It was four women. They were average looking. They were average looking, right? Average looking at best, right? And they were being followed around as they, approached some guys with some very corny lines. But it was interesting, right? There's more of those women out there than there are the quote unquote dime, the IG model or something, right? Or, that beautiful woman. Because understanding, Master Teacher BGS said this. He listed the number of dimes as maybe 1 per 1,000. And I really think he was being generous. With all respect to him, I thought he was being generous. I would slightly disagree. I would say the percentage may be 1 in 5,000, but that's whatever the case, you're not going to see him every day. In fact, I would honestly say I can go months without seeing a new dime. Now, I know some legitimate dimes personally, right? Legitimate, like roll out of bed type of gorgeous type that would appeal to all men. But when it comes down to meeting a new one, very rare. But the thing is, most guys out here are chasing that elusive dime. And look, to quote, to use another reference that was brought out by Master Teacher BGS, the 100 octanes. Understand with those women, like you got a bunch of, quite frankly, ordinary guys who want to get those like top-notch women like that as far as beauty and sex appeal and all of that. Let's just be real. Now, I know I've gone on record as saying sex appeal will get you further than money, right? Sex appeal will get you more women than money. But the reality is most men out here don't cultivate their sex appeal. So if they want those top women, they better have some money. There's no ifs, ands, and buts. You better have a lot of money. I ain't even talking six figures. Because you get some of those women, especially like some of those baller groupies or even some of those Wall Street groupies, your base number for a salary a year or whatever money you making better be $1 million, right? So they out of the question. But what I'm seeing is a lot of guys getting frustrated they can't get those women, and they trying all these tricks and everything. And I'm like, why? Okay, and let's go back to the title. I say you go further with a dollar than a dime. That's kind of an analogy. You think about a dime. It's this nice little shiny thing, right? It looks good. It's all, the lights bouncing off of it and everything. And, it looks good to hold and all of that stuff. And then you get a dollar. That thing might be crumpled, got some stuff written all over it, dirty, all that stuff. But you get further and you can get more with that dollar than you do a dime. It takes you a whole lot further, right? Now, translating that to real life, a lot of guys are so busy chasing that mythical dime, right? Chasing that rare woman who probably won't give them play anyway, even if they got sex appeal. Because these women know, they know that there's more tricks out here, so they're going to go for that money man, right? This is just real talk. I don't care how much game you got. Those top ones, go for it. They going for the money. You trying to like run some line or pretend like you high value or something ain't working with them. Because they trust me, that whole world right there is totally different. Now, I've been on the outskirts of that world where those 100 octanes are. I'm saying the outskirts. It'll blow people's minds. It's a totally different mindset, right? But you got plenty of dollars out there. And they ain't necessarily dirty. They kind of like the women in that video. You got more women, like in that Shy Woman video I shared, that's in the description box, than you do like one of these IG models. That's why, like a lot of times, if you actually start counting up every If you just had a project, you say, you know what, I'm gonna make an effort to try to count up every single IG model. It still ain't gonna be like, I seriously doubt it goes past 10,000, and I'm being extremely generous. It might not be that many, and I'm saying like somebody project. So you got very few, and then ones who might not be on there or anything. And then even then with the dimes, just remember, most of them had to fix up. Most of them are adjustable. So you got very few women, period, who just going to have that level of physical perfection and sex appeal, right? But if you're realistic, you got more of those shy girls out there and stuff. You got more of those awkward women. You got one of those average women who know how to fix up. And see, honestly, when you get a lot of these regular guys, like I did a video and I said they're guys, I always talk about select and non-select, but it's not absolute. You got guys who, for lack of a better term, semi-select. And when I say semi, it's mean they select to a few women and maybe not the rest, but they just focus on those few women, right? And those are what I would call the regular guys. A lot of times when we talk about game or we talk about alpha and beta, people talk in absolutes, right? People talk in absolutes like it's just these small group of men who getting all the pussy and the other one's not getting any until at best the small group of men are finished with them. Nah, you got some guys who are getting like decent women, sometimes even fine women in their prime. They just in the right position. Because remember, a lot of people don't remember, I talked about this in a on-demand video. There's a lot of factors that's going to cause a woman to want to be with a man. His race, his social class, his religion, whatever subculture he's in, the overall environment that they're in. There's a lot of stuff there. If you get a real, like a legitimate dime, but she's in small town America and she don't have any aspirations of going beyond small town America, well, she might marry the local guy who, he might or might not be the most attractive guy, but any place else, he's just average. In a big city, he's average or something. So there's a lot of factors there. But whatever the case, you get a lot of guys who get those regular type of women and they're good with it. They ain't just some total dudes who are just messed up, ain't getting any play. They just on some incel stuff or something. They just regular cats. They get some play. They lose some play. They might get to be a side piece every now and then. They might have a side piece, but they just regular cats. I mean, that's actually most dudes. Most dudes. People got to realize that, and I probably need to do yet another video on that. Most dudes got to realize those dudes who getting like over 100 women and all of that, real players, and then the other guys who on the other end of the spectrum ain't getting anything, they're at the opposite ends of the bell curve. Most people in that middle. Most men got decent level of game or whatever you want to call it to get a woman, right? And what they getting are those, they ain't getting the dimes, but they getting those women who are dollars. Now understand the dollar type of woman, right? Understand it, right? That type of woman is, we've, called it before as an adjustable 7 or, adjustable 6 or something. The thing that makes them viable is not so much that they'll win some like beauty contest or get a large following on Instagram, but their function. See, a lot of guys get too caught up in the looks and everything. You forget this woman still, what kind of cooperation she bringing to the table? Is she an asset? You know what? She might not cause traffic accidents, but she might be the type, you tired of something, she'll massage you, or, she got your back. It's like she ain't gonna try to like break your pockets. She the type is gonna appreciate every little nice thing you do for her. She's gonna have a smile when she see you. She's gonna do a lot of those intangibles that a man needs. It's like functional. It's like being with her legitimately makes you better. Right? So like many men got enough sense to know that. It's usually the men who are at that shallow, like that other end of the bell curve who, ain't getting nothing, who usually think it's some other stuff involved. But usually that's what they doing. And actually a lot of guys who are on, the low end of it, they would do well to like really start paying attention to some of those shy women. Some of those women who, they might not get an Instagram following, but they might be feeling them. Seriously. Because and that's really that's a big problem I'm seeing out here. A lot of guys and they think they justified in hitting out of their league, but you got to climb to it. You can't go from like rec league basketball to the NBA. Seriously. And that's what a lot of dudes doing. Not even rec league, backyard basketball to the NBA. So, and you got a whole group of women who are receptive to whatever you bring. I want y'all to think about that. Anyway, that's it for now. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace and blessings.